Care. My name is Yolanda. How can I help you?
Good morning, Yolanda. I'm glad you're there and I'm talking to you. This is Seward LaShawn. We spoke last week, the middle of last week. I requested you send me some bills, some statements. And also I want to know, have they mailed out the statements this month for this next period? They hadn't been mailed last week. Maybe they've been mailed now. Can you tell me, please?
Yeah, let's take a look. And yeah, I was off Monday and Tuesday. Sorry. Good to hear from you again. So let's see. Alright, so...
And by the way, I'm recording this.
Go ahead. Are you there, Seward?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, the name of the community, please?
Is Sundance Active Adult Village in Buckeye, Arizona.
Alright, give me one moment. I'm going to get you on over to Caroline. Please hold. From homeownerresources.com. Good morning, Sundance Adult Village. Jeanette speaking. How may I help you?
Well, I got directed here from your home office. They handed me off to you, and it looks like they're out of the loop. So, she said I'll route you to Caroline. Is Caroline there?
Yeah, she's our community manager.
Yeah. Well, she might not want to talk to me, but I've talked to the home office about 3 times in the last couple of weeks, and they don't want to talk to me anymore. And as soon as I called this girl...
You talked to AAM?
Yes, I talked to the accounts receivable, a lady named Yolanda. I also talked to her supervisor, a man named Anthony. Okay, and I kind of bypassed Caroline because the last time we talked, she kind of hung up on me. It was very quick, the conversation. But my reason for calling the home office is I'm not getting bills for my dues. The billing statement for...
You're not receiving an invoice.
That's correct. And
okay, can I get an address, please, and a name?
the address is 23327 West Twilight Trail here in Buckeye. My name is Seward LaShawn. And the reason that I'm getting kind of upset, or I want to really look in and get to the bottom of this, is I've spoke with the home office over this. I'm being fined $100 a day. I've received nothing. I've received no registered letters. Any letter that came here was addressed to my old address, so I sent them back. I figure any letter I'm getting from the HOA is a standalone legal document. All right?
Okay, hold on, Stuart, okay?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes.
I just want to let you know that your account is with the attorneys, and we can't discuss anything regarding that. So I'm going to give you a phone number, and you need to call them. That number is 480-833-1001.
Okay.
And they should be able to help you.
You want to give me that number again? And I'm not too excited about it. I've been paying dues now for 4 years, and I've been kicked out of the HOA. I pay dues for what? If she's not there to give me an answer, I want to know how on going into September, to September bill for October, there was nothing on it, just straight dues. And when the next bill at Christmas, how did it start accumulating $100 a day on October 1st? I've received nothing from the HOA. I've received nothing from the lawyers. I'm in the dark. Before you can find me, I've seen some statements, some documents where you can't have a hearing and start finding me.
Mr. LaShawn, this is Caroline. As you know, yes, you are getting a $100 a day fine on your account because you're refusing to comply. You want us to save you, but you have absolutely made no effort to do what you needed to do to be within compliance. Your account is with the attorneys. I will be ending this call because I can no longer talk to you.
Well, I'm recording it, okay? She hung up. And I didn't get the phone number. I never wrote down the phone number because she just hung up on me. Okay? I don't have the phone number. She jumped on. Anybody get that? So I have to call again. I'm going to call Yolanda again and see if she can get me back to Sundance Active Adult. But she admitted I'm being charged $100 a day. I have received no lawyer letters. I've received no letters. When she said, until you bring your lot into compliance, what is compliance? You haven't sent me a letter. You haven't sent me a picture. And that's why she doesn't want to talk to me. That's why she refuses to talk to me, because when I ask her for these things, she knows she has to send them to me. So I'm going to try to call Yolanda again, and explain the situation to her. Stick with me.
Ma'am, this is Beverly. How can I assist you, please?
Beverly, I want to talk to somebody, either Anthony or Yolanda, please.
Do you have an account number or address, please?
I had 23327 West Twilight Trail, Buckeye, Arizona.
Your name, please?
Seward LaSham. You need an account number?
No, sir. Hold on, please. Sir?
Hello?
Sir? I'm getting you over to Anthony. Are you available? Are you on speakerphone?
Yes.
Are you available to speak with him?
Well, if he's there, they did that
Yeah,
last
I'm
week.
transferring you right now.
I
So
hope
you
he-
might want to get on the phone where he can hear you.
Well, you better get me over to him. They did this last week and he wasn't there. All I got was a recording. I hope it doesn't
Hold on,
happen
sir.
this time.
Hold on.
All right? I hope he's there.
We apologize for your wait. Please continue. Thank you for calling AAM. This is Anthony.
Anthony, this is Seward. We spoke about a month ago about out here at Sundance Active Adult. At that time, you said you were going to look into, I've even got a recording, and I'm recording this now. Caroline just hung up on me, okay? I talked to Yolanda. I still haven't received any paperwork, any billing, or anything like that. I'm paying my dues. I haven't received any letters, any certified letters, any lawyer letters in months. And so Yolanda last week, she promised, I'm going to send out all your billing statements. All right? right, because I didn't get the one last month. For the one in April, I never got April's. I had to spend, after I talked to you, I spent $18 to spend on a certified letter to make sure the dues get there. And I have to do that now, from now on, as long as I'm with Active Adult. Every time I send in the dues, I'm going to have to pay $18 to make sure the dues gets there. Now, Caroline, I called Yolanda today. I haven't received anything. Yolanda last week said I'm going to get it in the mail tomorrow. All your statements will be in the mail tomorrow. They're not here. Okay? I don't have them. As far as getting a call, you said you'd follow up with Brad Lungsmark. I haven't received anything from him, either email or call. And when so I talked to Yolanda today, and she immediately said, I'll get you to Caroline. So she shot me over to Sundance Active Adult here in my community. I'm kicked out of there. Carolyn kicked me out of the community and canceled my card 4 years ago on some false witness. Her and the board of director, head of the board of director, did a little false witness, made me look like I was a screaming New York liberal from the left, made me look like Joe Scarborough, so they kicked me out of the HOA. All right, my key card's been, and I haven't done anything. Now, like I told you before, I start getting billed $100 a day back to October 1st. Last week when I talked, you told me I was up to 17.7. Yolanda last week told me I was at 25 and change, and 25,000 and change. And she said that the bill hadn't been mailed yet. And the reason I called last week, I want to make sure I get the statement. I've got nothing. I've got no statement for the April payment. I had to take and send in a copy of the December payment stub in a registered letter to pay my dues, because I know the first month that I don't pay my dues, they're going to go into foreclosure. Now, I called up Yolanda today to find out, first of all, did they mail? She told me last week they hadn't been mailed yet this month. Okay. All right, so I called her up. Have they been mailed yet? I'll look into it. Well, have you sent my stuff? And I didn't even get a chance to talk to her. She goes, let me route you over to Carolyn. Well, the phone rings. The lady out here at Sundance picks up the phone, and she screens the call for Caroline. All right, so I have to give her all my information for about 5 minutes and tell her the whole story. And she tells me, after having a powwow with Carolyn won't get on the phone with me, okay? She has a powwow with Carolyn. Carolyn says to her, tell him to call the lawyers. Everything is in the lawyer's hands. We don't have to talk to him. He's not getting the bills. I called up for a legitimate reason. I want to know why I'm not getting my statements. All right? And I recorded it. It's going on YouTube. All right? She hung up on me. Finally, the lady, she goes, write this phone number down for the lawyer. Well, she went through it so fast, so I went and got a pen and a piece of paper. I got back to her and I said, you're going to have to repeat that number again. And before I could get to her repeating that number to me and writing it down, Carolyn got on the phone and more or less flat-ass told me, we're not talking to you. You have to call the lawyer. Talk to the lawyer. We're never going to talk to you again. Which I stated, look, I'm paying dues. I'm part of the wallpaper out here. I'm paying dues. I'm a producer. You kicked me out of the HOA 4 years ago, but I still have to pay dues. And where is this $100 a day fine coming from? And she hung up on me. She hung up on me. All right? Second time she's hung up on me. We're not talking to you. Even though you're a member here, you're paying dues, You've been a member here for 18 years. You've had 3 houses. You've probably given us over $40,000 in dues and fines in the last 18 years. We're not talking to you. You're going to have to call the lawyer.
Have we reached out to the attorney yet?
Well, one thing I want to find, why do I have, that attorney hasn't sent me anything. He sent me one letter about 5 years ago, and it was a registered letter. Okay? It was a registered letter from the attorney. I even had to pay for his fee to write a paragraph, like a 10-line paragraph cost me $300 and some for him, but it was delivered as special delivery. I had to sign for it, and I told you the last time say she had a generic. That green copy that was supposed to be with the letter, the 2 stubs where they'd ripped the green copy to return was off the letter, but she didn't present that to me. And I went to her, and I went to the post lady, I said, where's the top copy I have to sign? Okay, that's the only thing I've ever gotten from a lawyer that's a registered letter. I've received nothing. I don't get any letters or calls from the HOA. Carolyn refuses to talk to me because I know more than her about the easement, my house, the way it was built wrong. She doesn't want to talk to me. And right now, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I can't get a statement because you won't send me the statements. Here they are right here. This one statement was from September, right? Had nothing on it, $285. This statement came 3 months later, and it had $4,500 on it out of nowhere. No lawyer registered letters, no registered letters from the HOA. They just took all this to a lawyer, and the lawyer says start fining them $100 a day. Okay? All right. Now, I would like to know, and I didn't get that number. Okay? Carolyn was in such a hurry to hang up on me.
Okay.
She couldn't wait to hang up on me. All right?
Gotcha.
Soon as I started talking.
Because of the information that Caroline is giving us, technically we were going to try to send you, statements, invoices, but Caroline had stopped us because we're not supposed to. We're actually supposed to refer you to the attorney because the attorney would be the one that would have to give you all that information.
Well, wait a minute. How did it get to the attorney? They haven't even given me a fair chance to answer anything. I've gotten no pictures, no descriptions. When they send me these little rinky-dink letters, and the first letter I got was my friend was living here in the house. They knew she was living here in the house. They knew I lived in the other house. One of the first letters they sent was to her, and it said resident. So she opens it up thinking that it's a generic letter like for auction day or something like that, or when we have our flea market days. She opens it up, and here's all this language meant for me saying I'm going to be fined, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it's addressed to resident, and it came through regular mail for 52 cents. All right, they threatened me with all these letters, so I sent back I made up a registered letter. Her and I made a statement, rewrote out a statement. I paid again $15, $16 to send a registered letter to Caroline, which was ignored. All right? Now, I'm dealing with Caroline, who doesn't want to talk to me. She's been ordered, don't talk to him. His house was built wrong. He has proof that his house was built wrong. The neighborhood is out of compliance because we don't have emergency ingress and egress. We want him to go away. And the thing of it is, about 2 weeks later, after I got that first letter for $4,500, here was what I got last year, a nomination form to nominate myself for the board. Well, last year I didn't have a fine on me of $4,500. So when I got that letter last year, I nominated myself for the board. they had to go through with it. They had to go and let me run. When I got there for the meet and greet night, I couldn't even get in the building. My key card was canceled 4 years ago. All right, and they made sure they got me out of that meeting in a hurry. Nobody wanted to talk about track day, and both times I run for the board. That's why I feel that they're giving me this $4,500 fine right now. Is you pay if you want to run for the board this year, pay the $4,500 fine. You pay that $4,500 fine. Now you can run for the board. But I've received nothing. I've had no hearing. Anthony, I know you're not a lawyer. This is I'm dropping a lot of stuff on you because of the frustration of not being able to talk to anybody else. And my only option is I have to go get a lawyer. And the board of directors out here, they're all wearing red MAGA hats. They know I'm a never Trumper. I'm very visible about it. I wear it on my chest, okay? And this board is made up of evangelical Christians, and they're all wearing red hats. And I am like a turd in a punch bowl out here. Plus, I question authority. I'm a Marine veteran from Vietnam era, okay? I'm 74. I question authority, all right? And I don't think a bunch of rinky-dink, Trump-headed, red hat, evangelical Christians that look at me like I crawled out of a sewer pipe in front of Yankee Stadium, okay? That's what I'm going through out here. What's going on in Washington is happening here. These people handed all this off to a lawyer. They had no business handing it off to a lawyer until they talked to me in earnest. All right? Send me letters. Send me pictures.
So hold on, sir. Let me stop you right there. So pretty much, I definitely understand what you're saying. I understand your frustration. I know this has been a long journey for you. But because of the account being, so much in debt with violations, usually that stuff goes to the attorney. It's not something we have to, verify with you. It's just because that part of the collection policy of Sundance Adult Village, if there's so many violations, that gets sent over to an attorney. Now with Caroline had made it, aware that we're supposed to just give you the attorney's information, and then you got to go to the attorney to pretty much solve out everything with the HOA. So as of right now, you're not going to get any correspondence as in a bill. We can't send you anything right now at the moment because your account is technically at the attorney. Okay, so I can either refer you to Caroline or I can refer you to the attorneys.
Well,
But
Caroline,
it sounds like,
Caroline
as
is
the
already...
information we've given you, you have to go through the attorney. Unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to speak to us, and we can't give you any information. That's why we're not able to talk to you or give you any information because the account is at the attorney.
Anthony, you're being very professional, okay? And I thank you for listening. It's therapy. But there's a certain due process before going to the attorney. Before you go to the attorney, you got a few steps you got to go through with me. She hurdled over all these steps, okay? It's like due process. It's like getting thrown in jail for missing a court date that you were never served on, which happened to me out here in Buckeye, okay? All right, I was giving them trouble over this easement, which every time I talk to them, and the reason they don't want me running for the board is this easement over here is grossly out of compliance. They've got two white supremacist Midwestern or Canadian Trump heads here on each side of it, and they're from a farm, big farm in the Midwest. They want their farm here. We don't want golf carts going by our house. We don't want golf carts going by our house. Now, whatever I've done to my yard, and I've done a lot of things to my yard, okay? I've tried to communicate those. I've sent Caroline many videos, okay, of exactly what I'm doing to my yard and why. And instead of getting back to me and talking to me and having any dialogue with me or sending me a picture, I don't get anything. I haven't had anything delivered to me. They don't have signature on any return receipt for any legal document. If you're going to charge me, what am I up to now? Can you tell me what my balance is now, Anthony? What's my balance today?
Unfortunately, sir, I cannot give you any information right now.
So I got it now. I have to.
As much as I want to help you, sir, unfortunately, I can't right now. There's nothing we would be able to do here for you. I mean, this is coming from your guys' board of directors. This is coming from your guys' community manager. We only follow the rules and regulations for the board of directors of Sundance Adult Village. Now, Caroline does work with the board of directors. She's instructed us that the only thing that we can really much do at this point is just give you the attorney's information. So I know in regards to our last phone call, I definitely heard you out and what's kind of going on. So it's just sounds like this has been a long journey for you, but I mean,
you've heard that they haven't.
I can't help you right now at this point.
Last thing they're going to do is communicate with me. Every letter that they've sent me has been so vague, so opaque, so nebulous that it says you're doing something in your yard. Until you get permission to do what you're doing, all right, you're in trouble. Where's the picture? Describe to me what I'm doing. I bought 3 lots out here, Anthony, and I had to fix the drainage on all 3. I sold 2.
Have you submitted any appeals to the board of directors?
They won't talk to me. I'm kicked out of the HOA.
But that's what I'm saying, sir, because we can't speak to you is because your account is at the attorney. That's the reason why we can't really communicate with you.
All right. Their attorney.
We can't discuss anything. You know what I mean? So, this is pretty much, I definitely hear what you're saying, but again, it's not going to be able to help me help you. Unfortunately, you got to go through the attorney to pretty much get this solved and worked out.
Well, I'll tell you what, Anthony, here's my opinion. You don't have to hear it. You don't want to. I feel that they got more money than I do, and we're going to make him start spending money. He's either gonna leave here.
If that's the road you definitely want to go down, you know what I mean?
We're going to make him start spending his money.
I'm sorry we have to go through this, but
the guy's got a credit rating in the stratosphere. He's a veteran of the Marine conflict, or the Vietnam era veteran. All right, he's had a great job all his life. He's paid his taxes all his life. He's given us about $40,000 in dues for 3 houses over 19 years, and this is the way we're going to treat him. We're not going to treat him fairly. They know every time I walk into the first confrontation I ever had when one of their HOA managers, I had a portfolio under my arm of maps, pictures, documents, and when I started laying them out in front of this lady, Pat Pence-Young, she was like a deer caught in the headlights. And ever since then, they go, don't let him in here. Don't let him in the HOA. Keep him locked out of the HOA. All he does when he comes in here is talk about that bad easement. That easement that's out of compliance up there. All right?
Gotcha.
We don't need him here. We got to get rid of him.
So
all right?
Maybe some information that you probably want to give to the attorney then.
Well, I don't have it. I don't have the attorney's number. I don't have the attorney's number. I don't have, and now you refuse to even tell me what my balance is.
Yeah,
I have to go. I have to.
But you can contact the attorney. I can give you the phone number, then they can give you a balance.
Why should I have to call them?
Because technically, once the account leaves AAM, we are no longer in charge of your account until the attorney closes that out. And
I'm trying to get across. Well, this is redundant over and over.
We have to follow. We can't.
This is like this is like the Republicans today saying, "What about Hillary? What about Hillary? What about Hillary? What about Hillary's email?" All right, okay. How did this get transferred?
Information, and then you can contact the attorney.
I'm not going to contact the attorney.
You can reach out to.
They're going to have to contact me. When they get up to about $250,000, $300,000 lien on this house, we'll see what happens then. Okay?
Okay. I mean, if you want, I can still give you the number just in case.
You can give me the number, but I don't think I'm going to be calling it because the attorneys that I've been dealing with, their attorneys, are young punks. You know what their attorneys are? They're not law attorneys. They're attorneys that specialize in collections and foreclosures. That's all. That's why they're having a hard-on with me. Excuse my French. That's why they got a stiffy for me. Here.
I understand, sir. I definitely understand, sir. You know, I mean, it's definitely, you know.
Don't bother. I don't even want the number. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to call their attorney.
Let me give you the attorney's information.
No, I don't even want it.
To contact them.
I don't want their attorney information. That attorney, sooner or later, is going to have to file some court documents. They're either going to have a registered letter. They've sent me nothing. They've got like 30-some or $28,000 against my property, and they haven't sent me one registered mail, standing legal document. You're telling me that an attorney and an HOA for 52 cents? I don't want your information. I'm not going to call them. I'll let them spend the money up front. Then I'll go looking for an attorney. But Anthony, thank you very much. You're working for a bunch of crooks, especially out here. Like I said, I'm a never Trumper. I'm a New Yorker. I got one of these coastal, what they call coastal, polarized political outlooks. I'm a liberal, okay? These people from the Midwest, all these Trump heads, they want the IRS outlawed. We don't want to pay any taxes. We want to bring our farm wherever we go, and we don't want to pay taxes. I'm up against it. Anthony, have a good career, man. I'll probably never talk to you again. I hope you see me on television sometime, because I'm going to do everything I can to get this on television.
That's for you, okay? Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.